No, he shouldn't have did it. He didn't give up those other people until later. And I told him, I said, don't go up on the stand and say what you're going to say because you have to replace me. And if you don't replace me, the DA is not going to go for it. And he was so hurt and crushed because I don't even know him. I never saw him before in my life. And so I said, listen, with Jan, you know, he said, you know, I feel very bad because you're losing your family and your business and this and that. You know, I said, well, from what I understand your background, you're a Muslim. You might have been inactive, but you're a Muslim. I'm a Muslim. And I thought Malcolm was guilty at that time. So I said, well, you know, if this is what I have to do, what I have to go through, I just go through it. Because my leader and teacher, man, you know, we'll do anything for him. And all of that, you know. So that's how it went. And I just calmly went through the motion. And but he should have never got up there and said that. Now later on, Kunstler was my lawyer, William Kunstler. He gave up their names, the address, where they work, how they grew up, where they hang out together, all that. But nobody pursued it. I had night court lawyers. I didn't even have a good criminal lawyer. State paid them $2,000 apiece, and they was down with the DA. It was all big goods.
Can we talk a little bit about how you came to find Islam in the first place?
Yeah, it's very strange. I got arrested for attempt burglary, and they gave me a year, and I did that on Hart's Island. That's where they bury all the bodies that's not claimed. And it's a big mess. Anyway, they give you a choice. Either you work in the graveyard or you work in the kitchen. So I chose the kitchen because after talking to a few people about that grave, you know, they put maybe 5 or 6 caskets in one hole, and then you got all those big insects and bugs and things down in there. And I didn't want to go through that. But you have people, man, that's so desperate, they figure, well, I'm going to get paid, so I'll take that. So, and I lived in a dome. And one day when I came in, there was a guy from, he's from Virginia. He was a minister in the Nation of Islam, but he had bad habits. And he confessed to me. He said, you know, I like to pick pockets and I like to smoke weed, you know. So he was on the run. But anyway, he was teaching. He was teaching Islam from the Bible. And it I got kind of interested. He said, you want to come in the group? I said, yes. So I sat down and I haven't looked back since. You know, he taught me everything I needed to know when I got to number 7. All the beginning lessons and the introduction, the orientation. I had all that in my head. I memorized all of it.
Can I ask you a little bit, it seemed to have like a real impact in your life, like even your parents would notice. Can you talk about the impact that Islam had on your life, sort of like on practical matters?
Sure I did. I was in search. I mean, really, really deep search. And I went through 3 or 4 different professions trying to find out why I was so dissatisfied. I used to get high and go sit somewhere all by myself and try to figure out why am I dissatisfied with the world? I mean, you know, I'm doing things, you know. I tried music. I did all right, but I didn't become, you know, a great musician or nothing. But that wasn't it. Then I tried art. I got into art and I started painting, oil paintings and landscapes and stuff like that. So I was able to sustain myself. I used to sell them to the doctors that worked in the hospital where I was at. It was like a rehab. It was like a rehab place. They'll sentence you there for like 3 years and give you a chance to get your life together. So that's where I studied music and art. And selling those paintings, like I used to do 6x6, sell them for $10, you know. And I was still not satisfied. I got out and I took a couple of ODs. I was in a mess, man, you know. And I shouldn't have been like that, but inside of me, I was very disturbed about my surroundings, about life, about society, period. I found out much later, if I can skip, that the religious aspect of life is what I was looking for. And it wasn't Christianity. My people were Baptists, very serious Christians. And I used to go to church with them. like I said, I was very disturbed. My soul was in a mess. And when I met this guy, this brother, and he started teaching me about Islam, everything came together. It seemed like that was my destiny. That was the answer. And I've never been disturbed since.